Good afternoon, good morning, good wherever you are, fandom. Thank you for joining me today for this review of Donny Cates Venom Run. First things first, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. You can follow me by clicking the subscribe button and hitting that little bell button down below. If you do that, you'll be notified of all the content that I put out on this channel. So Donny Cates Venom Run is something that has been getting a lot of hype lately. It's been touted as one of the best runs in probably the last 10 years, how he's revitalized the character, and how he's done so many great things. Does it live up to the hype? Yes, undeniably yes. I think it's one of the best runs on the character in probably the last 10 years since Rick Remender wrote Agent Venom, and even then I still think this is better. Donny Cates is a writer that really started to cut his teeth in the indie circuit, and he started to really break out doing small runs such as Doctor Strange, and then he had his breakout hit with God Country at Image Comics. A little bit of a sidebar, but if you have never read Donny Cates' God Country, do yourself a favor. God Country is absolutely incredible. It's an amazingly well done series with gorgeous art. It's so good it got offered to, I believe, Legendary Pictures, and they're making a movie out of it. But Donny Cates Venom Run, that's what we're here to talk about today. His run on Venom is, for me, as close to comic perfection as you can get. He does so much with the character right from the beginning, with introducing concepts like the symbiote god, and what would it be like if Eddie Brock had a son, and how would he have to raise a son, considering that he's had a shady past and dealing with that past. Of course, we've seen Eddie Brock handle that past before, and Venom as a character has played kind of both sides of the field. He's been a villain, he's been an anti-hero, he's been a straight up hero in the past, but in this run, Cates really fleshes him out and uses those concepts that he introduces to add new spokes to the wheel. Many of you may be familiar with the run that happened in the 90s, Venom Lethal Protector. I personally think this is much better than that, and I absolutely love Venom Lethal Protector. There's a point in the series that I think it does dip a little bit in quality, just a smidge. It doesn't ever get into really bad territory. It's just, I think the Venom Island arc doesn't really work for me as much as the rest of the run. I remember that I was reading this series monthly, and then I got to Venom Island and I let it pile up for about 3 or 4 issues because I was like, this really isn't doing it for me. I will say though, just push on through Venom Island, because then you get into the real crux of his Carnage arc. And oh man, his Carnage arc is so good. As a kid who grew up in the 90s and loved the symbiotes and Carnage, Donny Cates bringing back the character in such a badass and fun way and making him more threatening than he's probably ever been was just a riot all the way through. I think what's also impressive about this is that they make the Carnage arc an event. It was a huge Marvel event for a while, but the thing is, with Marvel events, a lot of times they're bogged down with unnecessary tie-ins, and you pick up certain books and you think, well, maybe this will tie into this, and it's only referenced in one page. See Civil War for that example, where in Civil War you would think, oh man, Fantastic Four Civil War, oh, this is going to be really important, it's going to tie into the main arc, and you'd have a reference where Johnny Storm is going, man, Civil War's happening, huh? Okay, moving on. Here, a lot of the tie-ins actually play very well into the main story. They are not necessary. I'm telling you right now, they are not necessary. All you need is the main Venom story, and all you need is the main Carnage event storyline, and you'll be perfectly fine. However, I do recommend you check out some of the tie-ins. I think they are all fun, and I think they lend themselves really well to the main story. To me, what the most interesting aspect of this is what I mentioned earlier, how Donny Cates is able to add new spokes to the wheel. He gets these obscure concepts and he references really obscure comics, and he's able to bring them into Venom and tie it in very well. He is doing this really weird thing where in Marvel Comics right now, he basically almost has his own universe going on, where all of these different books that he's written in Marvel are tying in to the next book he writes. If you've read Silver Surfer Black, that plays into this. His Thor run kind of plays into this as well. It's truly impressive to see that the stuff he wrote in another book 2 or 3 years ago comes back and he plays into it in the current run that he's doing. It's a skill that I think a lot of writers attempt to do nowadays, but very few of them are able to pull it off. Ryan Stegman handles the writing duties on this run, and to me, Stegman is the perfect artist for Venom. I think much like Greg Capullo was the perfect artist for Batman for that time, Ryan Stegman will be that artist that people are going to look back on this time and go, yeah, Stegman is the Venom artist. He's got almost a retro McFarlane feel to his art that just absolutely works. And it's great to see how he starts off and how he evolves as the series goes on. I think he really hits his peak towards the Carnage arc, and after that, he just keeps soaring. It's beautiful. I mean, there are several panels in this book that I absolutely want to hang up on a wall. Overall, I think if you are somebody that has never read Venom, you've got a passing interest in the character, and you think, you know what, I want to start reading the character, this is absolutely a great place to start. You don't need to know really anything about the character's history, you jump right in, and if you are somebody that has read all those classic stories, such as the Todd McFarlane run, the Lethal Protector stuff, Agent Venom, you will enjoy this that much more. If I had to score this run, I'm giving this a 10, honestly. I think this is about as close to a perfect run as you can get. When all is said and done and Donny Cates rests his pen down and he's done writing comics, hopefully not for many years down the road, I think this will be one of the crown jewels in his back catalog. This will be the run that a lot of people are going to go back and go, you know what, Donny Cates was an amazing writer, but you need to read his Venom run. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you want, you can order this book down below in the link provided. And if you do so from Amazon, I get a cut of the profit. It doesn't come out of your wallet, comes out of Amazon's. And guess what? Helps me out. With that said, guys, I love you. I'll speak with you soon. Bye.